Hi everyone, welcome to Agile Tech, and we'll be looking at the part 5 of the systems life cycle, and we'll be looking at documentation. Okay, now we will now consider the changeover to a new system in more depth as indicated there, and there are 4 common methods used for changeover from the old system to a new system. Each one has advantage and disadvantage which you need to be weighed up before the appropriate method is chosen from a particular application. That was from the part 4 that we looked at. Now we're going into the part 5, which is documentation. Now, once the system is fully developed, a considerably amount of documentation also need to be produced. But why do we need to be produced? Why now? Have you ever thought about this? Be with me. Picture this. For every appliance you buy that your parents purchase, there's always a documentation. There's always a manual. That manual is there for a reason. It's not just there for a show, just for a show or for a display. They are actually there for a reason, and we call them documentation. A documentation on how the system, what the system can do, its limits, its whatever. All those things are there in the manual. They are documented. That's what documentation is. Just putting down what the system can do in a piece of paper or soft copy, MS, whatever. All those things are seen as what? Documentation. And why are they produced for? They are produced for people who need to modify or develop the system further at some later stage. Now, the documentation is for the people. Okay, I've developed this system. This was how I developed it. These were the things I knew. So people who are coming in to the system in a later age that the system becomes obsolete will now know what to do and how to improve the system. It is also for end users on how to use the system. Yeah. So it's not just only for the computer professionals, but also for the computer users as well. I bet you didn't see that one coming. Okay. Now there are some overlaps between the two types of documentation, but the basic requirements are shown below. Okay. So we have the technical documentation, which is designed to help programmers, system analysts to make improvement to the system or repair or maintain the system. That's what the technical documentation is for. Just to help programmers, system analysts to make improvement, maintain the system as the case may be. And it consists of any of the following. It is not in any particular order, but any of the following. One, the program coding, the coding used, programming language used, the program flowchart, the algorithms, system flowchart, purpose of the system, limitation of the system, input formats, hardware requirements, software requirements, minimum memory requirements, known bugs in the system, list of variables used and their meaning, the file structures, the simple ones with result and actual test data that were used, output formats, validation rules, meaning of error messages. Just any of this. For user documentation, because we have two types, right? Technical and user. Now, for user documentation, it's designed to help users to learn how to use the software or system. So that's what it does, to help the user to learn how to use the software or system. And it consists of any of the following: how to load, install, or run the software, how to save files, how to do a search, how to sort data, how to print out, how to add or delete or amend records as the case may be. What else? The purpose of the system is also there. The limitation of the system is also there, both for technical and for user. Screen layout, print layout, hardware requirement, both for technical and for user. Software requirement, both for technical and for user. Sample runs, which result in actual test data being used, both for technical and for users. Error handling, meaning of errors, both for technical and for users. Troubleshooting guides, helplines, frequently asked questions, how to log in, how to log out, tutorials, error message, and meaning of error message, both for technical and for users, and glossaries of what terms. Okay, those are the things that are actually what being used. So those are the things that are needed both for technical and for user. Remember, in the technical, the technical documentation is just to help the programmers, help the system analysts to be able to what to make improvements to the system, to ensure, okay, not just to make improvement. There are times it's just to repair, amend some errors that they have seen, and this documentation is needed. For users, it's just to help the user on how to use the software, okay, how for them to learn how the software is being used and how they can use it to carry out what their work. If they know how it's being run, then they can carry their work. Thank you for listening to this video, and make sure to listen to more videos. Please do well to subscribe, and have a wonderful day.